Hey, what's up, guys? So coming to you today with the August 29th weekend recap. Through the 30th, August 24th through the 30th, looking at the cards that took place in between then. All three were on Saturday, the 29th. ESPN Plus, you had undefeated heavyweight Daniel Dubois knock out Eric Pfeiffer in only 2 rounds. Unknown Eric Pfeiffer, 2 rounds as he stayed undefeated. Fighting some nobody, but this is supposed to be the prelude to his big showdown with Joe Joyce in October. So I'm hoping that's what takes place, because that's going to be a good one. Joe Joyce is another very good undefeated heavyweight on the rise. So congrats to Dubois on that win. We'll go to the PBC card first. 2 fights. Well, you saw Caleb Truax had to pull out of the fight with Alfredo Angulo, the IBF final eliminator. He had to pull out of that. Due to some kind of illness, still unclear whether that was supposed to be an IBF eliminator or not still after that, because Truax was the highest rated contender, so not sure what happens there, but sucks because Truax has had a rough couple years with injuries and stuff like that has kept him out of getting back into title contention, so tough one right there. Alfredo Angulo went forward with the fight against some unknown fighter, Luis Hernandez, I think the guy's name was, and he ended up losing. And guys, you need to not be surprised. Alfredo Angulo's got the Warrior name from years ago, El Perro, but I mean, the guy's garbage. He's nobody. He beat Peter Kid Chocolate Quillin last year, but Quillin, another garbage fighter, hadn't fought in years, and a faded former champion and old. So, people need to not be so surprised. Unanimous decision went to the other guy in a close fight. I mean, Angulo fought tough against a guy he wasn't expecting, but if Angulo was on the level, you beat a no-name like that. The guy's record was like 11-4. Never heard of this guy ever. So, even as a stepping stone guy. So, he gets the win. Congrats to him. Erislandy Lara in the main event beat little-known Greg Vendetti. One-sided 12-round unanimous decision, but he wasn't trying to press the action or anything. He just stayed back and boxed and outlanded Vendetti. But, Vendetti's a nobody. I thought Lara was going to knock this guy out cleanly. Michel Soro, the guy who's the WBA gold champion, ready to get in the ring with Lara, he knocked Vendetti out in only 2 rounds. I know they're different style fighters, but I thought Lara could break him down and knock him out, but 37 years old, maybe he's past it. Maybe he just wanted to get the rounds in after a year off. I don't know, but he gets a clean win, holds on to that title, so whatever on that one. Then the ESPN Plus card, you had Arnold Barboza Jr., undefeated 140-pounder on the rise. He stayed undefeated, beating Tony Luis, veteran, 10-round unanimous decision. He's not a big pop guy, but he's got skill, and he looks solid. He's calling out Alex Saucedo, former world title challenger. That'd be a very good test to see where he's at in terms of how good he is. So he's calling him out next. We'll see what Alex Saucedo says, but he got the win. Then the main event and the biggest fight of the weekend saw Fresno's Jose Ramirez successfully defend his 2 belts against WBC mandatory #1 contender and former champion Victor Postol. But it was a very close fight. Ramirez walked out with a very close 12-round majority decision. I don't have a problem with Ramirez winning this fight. I thought he probably won about 7 rounds. If he won. It was close, though, very close. It depends on what you go for, the aggressiveness of Ramirez or the jab and the boxing ability of Postol. Postol really landed some good shots. He even stunned Ramirez once later in the fight. He found a second win and really dug deep. Like I said, it was a good close fight, but wasn't the kind of fight I was hoping for out of Ramirez to set up that showdown with Josh Taylor. But, a tough fight, but those are 2 top 5 guys going at it. So I don't think people should have really been expecting a blowout. I did think Ramirez was going to stop Postol late, but Postol showed that this dude can go into the late rounds and he can fight. So, good performance out of both fighters. Ramirez Josh Taylor or another mandatory is next. We'll see. We'll discuss that on the What's Next, getting into details. I know a lot of people aren't too happy with Ramirez's performance, that he didn't look better, but Postol is a very very good fighter, so people need to give Ramirez a little credit for getting that win. Also, we'll talk about the What's next week on all these top 10 fighters that fight over the weekend, but pretty decent. That wasn't the best weekend of boxing, but the Ramirez-Postol fight was a very good fight between two top 5 guys for 2 belts, so can't beat that most times. So solid weekend. All right, guys, that's the weekend recap, or the boxing weekly recap for August 24th through the 30th. Hope you enjoyed it. True Boxing, been hit with the truth.